Everything must change. Nothing stays the same. Everything must change.
Hello, it's Michael from Red Chair Diaries, coming to you from my disheveled library in Nova Scotia, Canada. I want to talk about... Can you see? Oh, you're not going to be able to see. The TV show Resurrection. It's in season 2. And it's adapted from this book, The Returned, which I just finished this morning. Now, there's been a lot of very odd shows on lately that have to do with death. I read The Leftovers, and I'm watching that. I watched that season 1, waiting for season 2, and it diverges from the book quite a bit. This one here, I enjoyed season 1. I'm enjoying season 2. The only thing it really has in common with the book, and the TV show is called Resurrection, I think because there was already a show from France called Les Revenants, which translates as The Returned, and that's been running over here. And I think there's going to be an adaptation of that, and an American version of that. So I haven't watched that French show. The American versions of British and foreign shows, to me, don't usually work, but we'll see. So this one is called Resurrection, and the only thing I could definitely say that it has in common with the book is, or are, the father and mother have the same names. The son who came back from the dead, Jacob, has the same name, and he's about the same age. I think there's a character, Fred, in the TV show, who's in the book but has a different storyline. The name of the town is the same, though I think they changed states. It's Missouri on TV, but I think it might be North Carolina in the book. The minister from the TV show is in the book. His storyline, there's some similarities. And the government agent is in there. That is about it. It is stunning in its divergence. Now, I will tell you, I enjoyed the book immensely. I am very surprised about that. I think it may have some Christian tinge to it, which I don't normally read or I approve of, that sort of thing. But the characters, one of them at least is a Baptist churchgoer, the mother, and the town is basically, WASP. So anyway, this is what happens in the book. It opens up with the father who's very old. The parents are much older in the book than they are in the TV show. So their son drowned in 1966. The book came out in 2013. So we're talking almost 50 years. Their 8-year-old son. So you can do the math. So they're really, really, they must be in their 80s, I would think. At least the late 70s. At the very least, since I had an 8-year-old son. So he was born, 1958? So right there, he would be 55 or something now, something like that. My sister was 57, so she's 57. Yeah, so he'd probably be 56, so 55 at that point. Which would make them late 70s, I would say, at the very least. What else? Anyway, it opens up pretty well, as the TV show did. The government agent's at the door, and there's their son, looking the same as he did when he drowned. 50 years earlier, basically. I do not know, I don't like this when my monitor thinks I'm not working or something. And then it turned off. the yeah. So anyway, if I lose my train of thought, so basically it's the family or the parents trying to come to terms with this return of this child. Is he a ghost? Some kind of replicant? Because he did die many years ago in the river. So you can imagine that is certainly going to be a catalyst for a lot of activities. Then more people return all around the world. And so the book gets into the fact that there's a lot of upheaval. And that's where I really thought it was quite interesting, were some of the descriptions about basically labor camps or camps anyway, to put them in, because people didn't know what to do with all these people who don't fit in anymore. Literally, they don't fit in physically because there's no room for them. They don't fit in emotionally because what are you going to do with somebody who died years ago and you've moved on or whatever? That's the question. Is it a miracle? Is it the end times? Is it, that sort of stuff? I mean, what is it? And, basically you don't get answers, and there's no way to write a book that is trying to be realistic and have an answer to that anyway, But the TV series goes off in all of these B plots where you've got all these new characters. You've got the sheriff, I think, is the actual troublemaking character in the book, but he's the sheriff, and his I guess it's his wife comes back, or daughter, I don't remember, but everybody seems to have somebody that's come back and it's really screwing up their lives and they don't know what to do. So the government's trying to figure out what to do. So of course the government's decision in the book, and partially in the TV series, of course, is to round everybody up like the Japanese in the Second World War, and put them in a camp. So that's the solution, right? And in some parts of the world, they're actually, just shooting them, and of course some of them come back again. So in the middle of the book, I found this poet wrote the novel, and I think he's done a really good job. Sometimes he's straining maybe a bit too much to be literary, but I think it has a lot of value. His writing style was actually quite good. So in the middle of it, it starts seeming a bit like the descriptions that Stephen King would make, during The Stand, and when the small towns in New England in his books have these bizarre activities, And I thought that I think Jason Mott is the author's name. I thought he did quite a good job at some of those descriptions. But aside from the people coming back, the big unanswerable question of why and where and what have they been doing in the interim between death and life, is oh my God, I did lose my train of thought. What was I going to say? It's getting old as the shits. Grief. Forget it. But I enjoyed the book immensely, and I enjoyed the TV show immensely. But it's just, as character studies, it's very good. Pondering the imponderables is always, it's usually an interesting exercise, and I found it so in this. I mean, I lost, both of my parents are dead. My father's been gone for 21 years. And Mom's been gone 9 years already. Seems like yesterday. And I wouldn't want them to be at the door. I think that you've got your life, you live your life, it's over. I don't believe in an afterlife. Don't necessarily discount energy and spirit moving on into some kind of great cosmos stew, you know, because I really think that there is a life essence, but I'm not so sure I can get down with heaven and you're going to see everybody again and all that stuff. You know, I just don't believe that there's a, you know, Scottsdale, Arizona, waiting up somewhere in the clouds where everybody can lounge around the pool all day. So I mean, I wouldn't want them back, and my friends that have passed on, you know, I lost a lot of friends who died of AIDS, and that is the past, you know. So when I die, I don't want to come back and see anybody. You know, that's just the way it is. Anyway, I did like the book quite a bit. There's no answer. I don't think I've ruined it for you because you would expect it to end this way. And it's like it's the reverse of The Leftovers that I did a video on a few months back. In that one, 20% I think of the world's population disappeared, and there's no explanation. There was certainly no explanation in the book. And they, you know, just disappeared literally like from one second to the other, and they were gone. And there's no explanation. So, but the TV show, you know, went off in all these different tangents, and this is the series Resurrection is holding my interest because now I'm trying to figure out, or I should say, I'm anticipating where they're going to go with it because they have a huge cast of characters, and one of the characters' mother has come back, and she's got all these secrets from the past. It's actually the young boy's grandmother. And there's all of these interactions that are not in the book, but they're also they hold my interest quite a bit. So they're definitely different things, very different animals, the book and the TV series, but I recommend both. I really do. I've quite enjoying them. Anyway, I know that I do tend to meander, and then I forgot what my concept was at one point there. So anyway, it's Michael from Red Chair Diaries, Nova Scotia, Canada, and I recommend The Returned, and I also recommend Resurrection, the TV series. And also Resurrection is the name of one of my favorite movies with Ellen Burstyn. That's one that actually brings tears to my eyes, and I really love that movie. Okay, we'll see you around the tube.